This week we're going to take a look at a slower than usual planting pace for corn here in the U.S. We're going to take a look at short-term weather trends in the U.S. and Brazil and take a look ahead to next week's USDA supply-demand report. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. We've moved into the month of May, and of course the market's focus is on planting progress here in the U.S. Let's take a look at our nationwide map for the latest update. The USDA told us on Monday of this week that 14% of the crop is planted. That is double the level from the previous week, but it's well below last year's 42% level, as well as 33% for the 5-year average. Let's take a look at a little bit of history now for the planting progress here. This year's progress is depicted by the red line. You can see once again 14%. That is the lowest pace of the last 6 years. On average, over the next 2 weeks, from May 1st to the 15th, approximately 34% of the U.S. corn crop is planted. So on average, we're about 2/3 of the crop will be planted by middle of May. Will we reach that this year? A lot of that, of course, is going to be directly dependent on the weather trend. And speaking of weather, let's take a look at the short-term forecast. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're starting out here looking at a measure of topsoil moisture, how much rain has been received the last 14 days. The heaviest amounts, as you can see, up in the northern plains, excessively wet up there. Drier, of course, across the southern plains, more for the wheat, impacting the wheat at the moment. As we move further east, more normal amounts, and in the eastern corn belt, there's actually a few pockets of drier than normal conditions. Now let's look at through Friday of this week. This is the amount of forecasted rainfall, and it's looking at 1 to 2 inches there across those green areas. So it looks like there is going to be some further delay across those areas through the end of this week. Now we're moving ahead to May 8th to the 10th, and we're looking at more of that northwest area, the northern plains again, getting organized rainfall across that area. So there may be some delays up there. Now we're going to look at a possible change in pattern, however, for next week, looking at a possibility of an atmospheric block developing across the heart of the Corn Belt. That would be warmer and drier weather from May 11th through the 13th. Our meteorologist at this time, however, thinks that that's not probable. We'll have to see. As you all know, weather can change very quickly. Speaking of weather, let's highlight what's going on in Brazil. Let's take a look at where the corn is produced in Brazil. We've highlighted this before, but we're looking at the Safrinha crop here. The key states, Mato Grosso, Goiás, Paraná, Mato Grosso do Sul, nearly 90% of the corn in those 4 states. Let's take a look at the forecast for the next 2 weeks. More dryness here. The dry season has begun for northern Brazil, and that corn is probably dropping off a bit as grain fill occurs. Emphasize that grain fill. Most of that corn in northern Brazil now has pollinated. Let's switch gears now and look ahead to next week's USDA report on May 12th. What we did with this slide was look at the change in the ending stocks from the first report here in May to the final report. The year we've highlighted here in green is 2008-2009. You can see that line, ending stocks actually increased 910 million bushels from the May forecast in 2008-09 to the final number. Now if we move on and look at what price did, price is depicted here by the bar. In this case, the red bar. Price declined $1.44. In this case, ending stocks increased substantially, price fell substantially. Now let's look at another year here. The year was just completed, the 2020-2021 crop year. Ending stocks were over 3.3 billion bushels, but they ended up only 1.2, so a decline of 2 billion bushels. Wrapping things up here, look what happened to price last year. The average farm price was first forecast at $3.20. It ended up at $4.53. Here's the key message. A lot can change from this first report next week. That's why we continue to strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement. Our final slide here is looking at the history of December corn futures. With December corn near $7.35 a bushel, that's still the highest price here for early May ever. So once again, price volatility ahead. Work closely with your trusted risk management advisor. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. And remember, next week you can catch us on YouTube on Thursday, May 12th at 11:20 a.m. Central Time for a recap of the USDA monthly supply demand report. Have a good week.